everybody. How's it going? If you're new here, welcome. Today we're going to be checking out the Redragon UCAL Pro keyboard. They sent this over to me. They want to check it out, see what it does, how it sounds, how it feels. And this is one of their most purchased keyboards, so clearly a lot of people like it, but let's see just why people like it. So stay tuned, sit down, grab some snacks, and let's go ahead and hop straight into it. All right, and here it is, the UCAL Pro 75% gasket mechanical keyboard. So it does have a gasket mounting into this, but we'll also look into that here in just a bit. It is a 75%er. You do get some functions and the arrow keys on there. It does have a couple different options that you can do as far as switches, because it is hot swappable. So we'll go ahead and dive into the specs of the keyboard here before we hop into the unboxing. It does have a 3000 milliamp battery, which it does have a fantastic function. If you do function plus alt, will show the battery percentage on your keyboard with 10 different keys with your numbers and show you just exactly where it's at as far as the percentage. It does have 2 layers of silencing foam to go into it. It does have those TPR gaskets baked into the case for stability. You do have the PBT keycaps, which you can have different colors, of course, for that as well, but it is still PBT for the material. You do have the 3 connection modes, which is the wired USB-C, Bluetooth 3.0 and 5.0, and the 2.4 gigahertz wireless USB dongle that it does come with. You do have the control knob that is on the top right, which can adjust the brightness, the media, volume, play, pause, and switch between some of the different effects and everything that goes along with it with that one knob. And of course, if you want to modify different keys and everything, you can absolutely do it inside of the software that does come with and can accompany the keyboard itself. Now, that should work with Windows and, of course, your mobile devices with Bluetooth. Now, as far as Linux go, has no confirmation for that. If you guys do run Linux, do let me know if that does work. There is Windows layer compatibility, but as far as working with it, cannot confirm since I do not use a Linux machine. But if you do, leave a comment if it does work. And if you guys have any comments for anything, feel free to leave those down below. I'm always happy to comment back to you and help you out if you have any questions. And if you do, while you're down there, just go ahead and hit the like and the subscribe as well if you'd like to see more crazy videos and awesome tech that's sent over from various companies, from keyboards, headsets, microphones, all the good stuff. And of course, we got some more stuff in the pipeline, so stay tuned. We'll go ahead and get the box undone. We do have 2 boxes you actually have to get into. The first one and then the second one here, which is really nice silver packaging. Looks great. Nothing too crazy on the packaging. We do have some foam inside protecting the keyboard. We have some extra switches and some bubble wrap here. We do have a nice side-angled USB-C, and it has that USB-C / USB-A adapter, which is always a great addition. I love to see those. The keyboard itself will come out. We have the stickers, which you all know and love from Redragon products. We have this itty-bitty tiny manual, which I love. And then we do have the keycap puller itself, which does have the Redragon logo in the middle of that. But of course, let's go ahead and get this keyboard out of the sleeve here. And it's a nice dark blue and white. It does look good. But before we get into it, let's check out the stickers. Again, if you buy Redragon products, or if this is your first one, you will get some stickers to go along with it. Usually they are the same, but they always add them in. They're always great. And here's a little bit more of a close-up of that USB-C right angle, and then also the USB-C with the USB-A top adapter. It does have a nice little Redragon in red on the actual cable tie. It's a nice little extra feature, you know, to be like, yeah, they put a little extra effort into it. And then here into the bubble wrap, we do have just some extra spare switches. I got reds. I love just some standard red linear switches. Tactile can be a little loud, so I prefer to kind of keep that at a minimal, but nothing too crazy. These are some standard reds. They're nothing too crazy, nothing fancy. They're not pre-lubed. But if you do want to lube them, obviously you can take them apart and do that, but Nothing too crazy here, just your standard 2-pin connector, and we get a couple extra ones in the bag. Next, we'll slide over to the manual here. Again, it is super small, which I love. It is still in the roadmap form, which if you guys have been here a little bit, I do hate roadmaps. But it folds out, and it's one layer, and it has your connectivity modes here, how to do it, how to get it connected. And then you do have the function keys and what it does. It's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. You flip it over, you have a little bit more, and then you have a lot of regulatory stuff. So it's definitely, most of it's on the first side. If you need a little bit, again, flip it over as that last little page, and then it's just the regulatory stuff. So, again, not bad. Now we're going to go check out the keyboard here. It's really nice. Seems pretty sturdy. We do have here on the side the USB holder for the actual dongle, which, again, love keyboard companies are starting to add this because these things can be lost so easily. So I love that there's somewhere to put it. Not too bad feeling, not too bad sounding so far. It does have a little bit of a hollowness, clickety-clack to it, but that is only because of the 2 layers. We do have some of the feet on the back, the small and large one there. And then as we slide over, we do have the information here on the back for the model, the name of it, and the battery information, and then, of course, more regulatory stuff. But the PBT keycaps do have a unique sound that does accompany them. Some may like it, some may not, just due to the way they sound. Of course, we have the little knob up here on the up top. And then here on the side, we do have where that right angle USB is going to come in handy for the side USB-C. And then the knob here for the 2.4 gigahertz and then or the Bluetooth mode. If you want to use it in wired mode, you slide that to off, and then when you plug it in, it starts to work. We will turn out the lights here, and let's check out the RGB here. It's a really nice bright LEDs where the colors do mold together really nicely with that. Now you do have here up on the top, you do have the different Bluetooth modes and the 2.4 if you want to switch between some of those modes with the FN key. There's the FN Alt that shows the battery level of the keyboard. So the RGB goes off and it shows you on the top what that is. Now, if you do, you have the different speeds here. If you go up, left, and right, you can change the speed of the animation. And if you go up and down, you do change the brightness of the keyboard. So you do have all those functions right there at your disposal. Just right there with the FN key for the function. But again, I really do enjoy the RGB of this keyboard. It is just super full. Definitely has plenty of brightness modes, so definitely worth it in that department. Now we'll go ahead and take off some of these keycaps so we can take a little bit of a look under the hood and pull some of the keycaps off and then pull one of the switches so we can take a little bit of a peek to the board itself. Go ahead and take off just a couple of these keys here. We'll go ahead and grab from the side and give it a little bit of wiggle. These are really set in there, so do keep that in mind. You will have to exert a little bit of force. But here are those reds. To make a note, this is a north facing LED on side of here, so depending on your keycaps, do keep that in mind. You need some north facing prints for this to work great. You could do side printed, but your brightness of that may vary based on it being a north face. But everything looks clean, everything looks good. You have that space here to kind of diffuse the light underneath between the switch and the board, so that also helps with the stability as well. We'll go ahead and get these caps back on here, making it look whole again. And then we'll go ahead and switch over to some testing here so we can get into the keyboard and kind of see how everything feels. So here, this is the Redragon software that accompanies the keyboard. You do have your profiles that you can create here for the keyboard. You can remap basically anything you want. You can import, you can export it, You can edit it, you can delete it, add a new one, whichever you want. And everything is, again, customizable. You want letters, you want numbers, numpads, modifiers, all the above. You can make those changes, including mouse clicks, multimedia, macro, and commands, and then key combinations. But if you want to add your own custom layout, you absolutely can. And you can even have those where you lock the computer, run programs, zoom in, zoom out. It's honestly crazy with the software, what you can do these days. So again, make it your own. And if your friends want it, you can just export it and send them their way. We'll check out the lighting effects next. One great thing about the software here that some companies don't really do the best at is you can see this in real time for the color in the software. So we'll be able to check out these effects and what they look like here. We have the respire here. Rainbow effect as it slowly goes between the different colors. The flash away will just be flashing in, flashing out. For it, as far as if you press the keys, those will be activating. We can't see that in the software here. But if they are fully activated, we can see it here. But just note that the flash away, the light will come on and go away as you're typing. Same for the reaction layer one. If you do that, once you type, that's when the effect happens. Same for shadow disappears when it's all pretty, but then it disappears when you type it. But we'll finish out these colors, and we'll go ahead and show just all the different waves that we have here for the actual effects for the keyboard. And of course, you can change the brightness and the speed, and some of them you can adjust the color as well. Of course, this one, starting in the O key, you can have that where it comes out, but I don't think you can change where that is. Now, we do have a music mode on this, and what's fantastic is it shows the visualization. We do have some other keyboards on the channel that we had to overlay for that, but this will show you exactly what it's going to look like with some audio playing, which is great. And so as you have your music or videos bumping, this will change, this will move, and as the louder you have the music or video, the more crazy and higher these effects will go. And at the bottom, you can change the gain factor itself on how crazy it is, the smoothness, and of course, if you can, change some of the colors around as well. Lastly, we do have the macros panel where you again can create your macros, import, export, copy it, make a new one, delete, whatever you need to do for the macros. And so we got our first folder, and then we have two macros set underneath that. So we'll go ahead and hit the plus sign and go ahead and get that created so we can then record all the presses that we want to. So we can press the T, and we can show that the delay that is there. If you want to make any modifications, you just click it, change the letter. You can change the delay if you'd like, and then once you're done, you just save it. So we'll just smash a bunch of keys here. And you can see there's a bunch of different variables because it just did it in real time. And once you're done, you can save it, and then we'll slide over here to the settings. You have it where you have the auto run, you have the exit, what it does, the tap sensitivity, sleep, and when it does it. And you can also reset the entire system as well. It shows the software and the firmware up top. If there's any updates, this is where you'll be able to do that. And next, we're going to go ahead and get into the sound meter testing. We're going to see just how loud the keyboard is while you're typing and pressing keys, so you can know just how the decibel levels that you're going to be looking to be working with. And so far, this keyboard is actually one of the quietest keyboards I think we've had in quite a while. Now, again, the sound may be a little different with those PBTs, so the sound is a little clacky, but it's not too loud. It's not super duper clacky, but even these keys that are close by to the meter here, they're not going over really 60 decibels. So definitely, if you're looking for a great mechanical that's on the cheap side, you can absolutely pick this one up. Next, we're going to go ahead and slide over to the weight section. It's not too crazy. We're going to go throw this on the scale, and it is for the size that it is. It's a little bit more than some of the other keyboards that we've done, but for a 75%er, it's actually pretty high up there, but it's not too bad as a whole. But I have a full-size keyboard that's actually within like 100 grams of this, but it is fairly light. So again, you have heavier on the 75, but not too bad. But it can vary depending on if you are traveling. That's the extra weight that you'll be adding on. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate you guys being here and staying to this far. If you have, don't forget to like the video and subscribe as well. This keyboard can be picked up for about $65. If you catch it on sale, about $50. So it's not really too bad. You get the extra cool functions. You get the real nice versatility that comes with it for Bluetooth, USB, and wired. Slightly bit on the heavier side, but that's okay. It can do what it needs to do. Depending on if you're traveling, you may need to keep track of that for if you're flying. But again, not too bad and fully customizable if you want to change the switches, the keycaps. Just take note of those north-facing LEDs. So when you're doing that, you can make sure that you get the right keycaps for that. Because if you get south-facing, it's going to look a little weird. It's not going to be as good of the LED lighting underneath it. So do keep that at the forefront. But guys, appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. And we got some more videos in the pipeline coming your way, so make sure that you stay tuned for that. And until the next video, I'll see you there.